Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man.
Okay, so my question has to do with basically dealing with soreness as you're trying to perfect your technique. And um, basically, I've played disc golf for probably around 15 years or so. I'm 30 now, and just in the past few months, I've kind of tried to get into the actual technique of the reach back, the X step, the follow through, all that. So I've kind of maybe jumped in a little, um, little zealous, and as far as like really try to rip on some drives, um, where maybe I should hold back a bit when I'm still perfecting the form, so that I don't, injure myself. But of course, I know stretching and all that plays a big part as well. But basically, I was just wondering if you could elaborate on like how you kind of worked through those kind of growing pains as you went through trying to incorporate the lower body more and doing all of that. And then, because I do feel like a lot of the pain is kind of in my shoulder and upper back, on that side. So I appreciate you taking the question.
So, before you say anything, Robert, this is something that I've noticed just in my short time watching disc golf or being involved in disc golf. I remember when I first started, and it seemed like a lot of people, when they go play these tournaments, even when they play like an A-tier tournament, I see them like going out and partying the night before. I see them waking up, and so the way they wake up is they're downing a 20-ounce uh, can of Monster
Mm.
or some kind of high energy sugar drink.
They
And
should choose something more healthy like Dr. Pepper.
right, or yeah, yeah, and then they get upset come second round when they're not playing as well.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you're not taking this serious. This is more
Yeah.
than you. Yes, this is a real sport. Your body needs to be conditioned to be able to walk, the 10,000 steps that you're going to take out on the course. And then of course, you're throwing and the mental part of it and everything. You need to take care of yourself. And so I think it's awesome that I see a lot more people taking this aspect more serious when it comes to improving their disc golf game.
Yeah.
But so what are some tips, Robert, that you can share?
I think this is a really astute observation. His name is David, is that right?
His name is David. Yes.
Yes. David, I think you've made a really astute observation in that because disc golf is relatively low impact, relatively. A lot of people think I can just go do it day after day after day. I can go throw 100, 200 drives in a field, and then next day just get back at it. And then we're confused whenever we're sore after that.
Right.
Um, this is just like any other physical or athletic activity where if you don't have the muscle memory and muscle stamina built up, you are not going to be able to perform to the best of your ability until you have it. So I tell people when they're starting to work on their form to try and treat it like you're training more for like a long bike race or a marathon or something like that, where you don't go out and run your 26.2 miles the very first day, because that you're only going to wear yourself out. You won't be able to train for days after that. Instead, I like to just start incrementally. I'll go, if I'm working on something in particular in my form that I know is going to access different muscle groups that I'm not used to using, I'll go and only practice that for 10 minutes a day. And then maybe I'll do that for a couple of days, and then I'll do 20 minutes, 30 minutes, things like that, just so I don't have the fatigue to where I put in all this work and it feels really good, and then I can't remember it because I wasn't able to train the next day. So I'd say the biggest tip is just exactly kind of like you said, just doing it in moderation. Start by playing, you know, 9 holes for the first day, or play 18 holes and then take a day off to make sure that you're totally rested and ready before you go back at it. This happened to me when I was learning to throw forehands. I reached back super far and I was like, I can throw far and stuff. And then I had this old tennis elbow thing that started to develop. It's a little bit of bursitis in your elbow, and it made forehands not only painful but backhands. And for a bit, I tried to just fight through it. And I was probably 25, 26 when this happened. And it just sucks. Like, you're not playing as well. You're getting frustrated because it hurts. And then you finally are forced to take time off. And then you realize that's kind of the only way that you could do what you need to do. And so I would say moderation and then rest are the two most important things for me. I don't know. What do you think?
I think, yeah, definitely. Same thing you said. Anytime you're doing anything physical that's new to your body, I mean, typically, if you're just playing disc golf with your, usual form, you're not really trying to mix anything up. You're just going off muscle memory. If you play a lot, you usually don't get too sore. It's not till you start trying new stuff and trying to tweak your form that you start to have those issues. And you just got to take it easy. Don't overdo it one day. Don't throw 100 drives if you're trying to work on a new form. Just try to take it slow and just kind of moderate how much effort you put in on a daily basis. But then on top of that, if you're changing, I've noticed that when I change one thing in my form, it can really throw off other stuff. Mm-hmm. So you might be concentrating more on your reach back or trying to throw harder. And who knows, you may not be following through all the way like you did before.
Or like taking a longer last step or something.
Yeah, because for me, I've been really working on getting my lower body involved more. And I've noticed like a lot of soreness in my hips and stuff that I had never noticed before. So that just shows that you're activating and getting new muscle memory, which is awesome, but you do need to make sure you do it in moderation, because any kind of strength training, they always say, you need to give yourself time to rest and recuperate. But then also make sure you're maybe filming your form as you're experimenting with, new things, fixing your reach back, and make sure you are hitting those important parts as far as being smooth and making sure you're follow through. Because not doing those things are definitely will cause injuries more so.
Yep, for sure.